Alright, so this is what I drove in this morning. As you can see, the roads have not been cleared. And yeah, they're starting to compact on the road. This can be extremely dangerous. And the speed limit on this road is actually 75. And at this point, I was doing 55, 60 because I didn't feel safe driving the actual speed limit. And yeah, people were passing me, even still doing this speed limit. So I was trying to maintain a safe speed, but like it's really hard sometimes because other people, they think that they're invincible and can drive in all of this and be crazy with it. So yeah, but this is one of the least favorite conditions that I have because you can see there's going to be you can kind of see it right now, but there's going to be a still picture right here coming up. Yep, like that. You see right there, it's still. When other vehicles pass me on the road, they splash up the salt from the road and the moisture, and it hardens on my windshield. And yeah, causes it to be very difficult to see outside the window. And then another thing that it does, this weather does, is freeze ice on my windshield wipers, which makes it extremely difficult to clear the windshield when it gets like this. I, at this point, had ice on my windshield wipers, and because this this person here talking to you failed to put on her winter wipers, and I'm regretting it greatly. Well, not so much anymore, but yeah, I was regretting it in this moment because the whole thing was full of ice and very difficult to clean the windshield. So yeah, fun times to be had by all. On with the video. Hello, happy Saturday. Yes, happy Saturday, everyone. Um, so today is day 5 of 365 days of being grateful. And if you saw that video just a second ago, that's what I drove through this morning. And weather patterns out here are something that we have to deal with, and I mean, you get used to it. It's not real big deal and stuff like that, but there's a couple of things that I really just do not like. That happens to be one of them. When the snow is compacted on the roads, it becomes like ice. And for some reason, I could not tell you, the West Coast, anything west of 35, they don't deal with snow very well. Make it make sense. They have more snow than anybody in the nation. Yet you got people on the East Coast that have like umpteen amounts of snow plows and salt trucks to take care. And I mean, they get on it as soon as it starts snowing. They're like ready. They line up. They're ready to start clearing the roads. The sooner you get on it, the better. Because once we start rolling over that snow that's on the roads, it starts to melt and then it freezes. It becomes ice and then you can't do anything with it. So anyway, I do want to do a quick shout out to one of the most unsung heroes and underappreciated. I feel like, they don't get seen enough or represented enough. The snowplows and the salt trucks, you guys are heroes, okay? And I just want to send out a great shout out to you guys. Y'all are awesome. When you do your job, when you are out here, like I know they don't have enough on the West Coast for some reason, but they do an amazing job, a phenomenal job. And I greatly, 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 as a truck driver, appreciate you guys. You have no idea how much. I feel like there's something on my head. Okay, it's messing with me. Anyway, yeah, shout out to them. Thank you so much for what you do. Hey, you know what? Oh, wow, okay. That was fun. My phone holder fell. Okay. So anyway, I hate that type of weather. I don't mind snow. I don't mind driving through snow. I don't like ice. I don't like when it's on the road. But I will say this, okay? I am grateful for it when I do have to drive on it. It's not very often, thank you, Jesus. But when I do, it really does set the tone for like the day, because when the weather's good and the roads are clear and there's no wind, there's no nothing to worry about, you just cruise, right? You're just enjoying the ride. All of your senses aren't involved. It's just you're doing what you normally do every day, and it requires minimal concentration, minimal thinking, things like that. But when, and don't hear what I'm not saying, okay? I'm just saying, like, in comparison to the weather like I dealt with today, okay? You do still have to concentrate. I'm not sitting here saying that you can just sit here and daydream and drive a truck. That's not what I'm saying, okay? What I'm saying is, in comparison to what I was doing today, all of my senses were involved. And, like, you're at high alert for everything. You're paying attention to every inch of the road. You're paying attention to everybody that's passing you. You're paying attention to who's behind you, who's in front of you, like more so than normal. I'm talking like to the max, to the extreme. You have both hands on the wheel. You don't get distracted. You don't allow yourself to get distracted. Like, literally, you have to focus on that. Like, I'm telling you, when I drive through stuff like that, I can't be on the phone because I have to concentrate. I can't think about anything else. And that's my point. So during those times, it reminds me of, how dangerous our job is, and how I don't need to become complacent. I don't need to become comfortable. And I've said this before, if you get to the point where these trucks, when you're driving them, if they don't scare you, then you need to hang up your keys. And a driver told me that. My very first driver trainer, SDR England, told me that, and it stuck with me. And I have a very healthy fear. And I'm not talking about like I'm terrified to drive these things. I'm talking about I have a reverence, a respect for the fact that this is a weapon of mass destruction. Literally, 80,000 pounds. At any given time, I could have almost 80,000 pounds of this whole vehicle, the combined weight, okay? And I treat it like an 80,000 pound weapon of mass destruction, because literally, if this vehicle comes in contact with anyone at high speeds, it is going to annihilate whatever it hits. And it is not going to be pretty. And 9 times out of 10, the person in the other vehicle is going to lose. Or the thing that's on the other end of it is going to lose, not this truck. So we have to understand and appreciate that fact. And I feel like a lot of us get too comfortable and too complacent out here. So when the weather gets bad like this, snow, for instance, really bad rain, wind, high winds. I don't mess with winds. Especially if I'm light in the box. You have to respect it. You have to respect the weather. Okay, you have to respect these vehicles and their limitations. Part of being a good driver is knowing the limitations of your truck, knowing your limitations as a driver, what you feel safe with, what you don't feel safe with, knowing when to stop, things like that. And so it's moments like those that really forced me to be pushed to my limits, to hone my craft, and to really learn what the limitations of this truck are. I have hydroplaned across the roads before, and let me tell you, there is nothing scarier out here as a driver than when you feel like these wheels are spinning out of control, and like you have lost control of the truck. There is no scarier feeling to me than that. So I have a great respect for these vehicles and their limitations. And when the weather is like this, I'm very careful. Very careful. I feel like a lot of people, it terrifies me to drive with people out here, because a lot of people don't respect it. They don't respect it at all. But by the grace of God, I got to clear roads, and everything was good. So yeah, I hate those times, but like I said, I'm grateful for them as well because, you know, yeah, it keeps me in check. So thank you, Jesus, for these crazy weather patterns that we have to drive through. It really helps me to become a better driver and safer and have a greater understanding for the roads, for sure. And anyway, I hope are having a wonderful weekend and enjoying your days off if you're off. If not, I hope you're having a good work day. And as always, be grateful for everything, all the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between, because God never lets anything happen that's in vain. And everything has a purpose. Everything. Everything has a purpose under heaven. And we may not always understand it, and God may not reveal it. I've learned that the hard way, and we just have to trust it because He knows best, right? And He will never forsake us, nor lead us down a path of destruction. So, yeah. I love you guys. Thank you for coming on this journey, and I'll see you tomorrow.